It is November 22nd, 2018. I've got 5 days left until November 27th, which is going to mark the 430-day mark of my hyper-religious episode. And I had the podcast recording the other day. I've gone back and forth with the interviewer, and I've spent some time with family, and I got to say that I feel the most balanced that I have since this whole ordeal began, and it seems like it gets more and more stable as each day passes. So my point is that as your sort of point of reference, it can get bumpy, it will get bumpy on your journey. It won't be nearly as bumpy as mine because you have me to kind of give you some guidance. But the good news is eventually you'll smooth out. And when you do, you'll just feel very, very balanced. It's just like the normal world each day, and you can kind of toggle between each environment. There's zone 1, which is what you know is reality, what you know is existence right now, normal stuff. You'll be able to go into that frame of mind when you're in a social situation, or if you flip on the TV. I wouldn't recommend doing so because TV is produced, it's graven image, but you can kind of go into that system and observe. You'll notice other people who are in that system, they have no clue about the system that you're operating in. And then if you want to go into the spiritual zone, then it's just a matter of thinking about all the coincidences you've written down, thinking about how they were all in a master sort of divine plan. And then from there, you sort of prime your thinking over a short period of time into getting into that spiritual zone. It's best to do this alone. This is why Jesus went and prayed in the morning, because every time you wake up in the morning, you reset and you wake up into that normal zone 1, which is what we've all been used to. But the key is this whole exercise lets you toggle between both zones while the rest of the world gets hip to the second zone. And then eventually we all, as more and more people come online and understand how the second zone works in a stable sort of fashion, then eventually we just stay in the second zone and we're all in a spiritual zone. That's God's kingdom. So, but either way, you'll be able to go back and forth. And anytime you feel overwhelmed, the key is just stop, go somewhere that's very familiar, like your house or a room or whatever it is. And if you just want to completely shut it down and reset, just go to sleep. When you wake up, you'll be back in zone 1. Don't even think about coincidences. Don't think about, God or anything like that. And you can just stay in that boring zone all day long. And if you ever want to go in the spiritual zone, just cycle through your coincidences again, primes your brain, and then you're back in zone 2 until you go around people or in an environment which is completely zone 1, in which case your brain will kind of naturally gravitate toward the boring zone again. If that makes sense. So, and in zone 2, nothing pops out at you. Nothing crazy happens. It's just God knows you're in it. And cool things can happen. Anything you want, actually, if you believe. There's also no illness in that zone as long as you confess your sins. Of course, you can be in zone 1 and confess your sins, and there's no illness either. So you don't even have to participate in the second zone to be illness-free. Of course, you would never want to be only in zone 1 for the rest of your life, because that's going to wind up being hell on earth over time.